Good morning students. We are discussing on water resource engineering and hydrology. We are learning about groundwater hydrology. Well, in today's lecture we will discuss two topics of groundwater hydrology, that is well loss and the yield of the well. Starting the lecture with the first, that is well losses. Well, for that, first of all we need to see that how this well losses can be occurred with a schematic diagram. Well, so here there is a well, okay, and whenever you are pumping out the water from the well, there would be some losses. Okay, let's discuss this in detail. So as we discussed, when the water is pumped from a well, the total drawdown that is caused at the well face, and that is made up of aquifer loss and the well loss. So talking about the aquifer loss, the drawdown that resulting from the head loss due to the resistance to the flow of the water, that is known as the aquifer loss, and sometimes we call it as a formation loss. So now if we talk about the well loss, the drawdown due to the well loss resulting from the flow through the well screen and the axial flow within the well to the pump intake. Thus, when the water is pumped out of a well, the total drawdown caused that include not only that of the logarithmic drawdown that we discussed in previous lectures, but also the drawdown caused by the flow through the well screen and the axial movement within the well. So this is generally known as the well loss. So the flow in the immediate vicinity of the wells have steep hydraulic gradient, and that particular stage the Darcy's law is not applicable. Well, in this case the turbulent flow generally occur, and that's why we are not able to apply the Darcy's law near the well face. Now this well loss may be taken to be proportional to the power of discharge, where n power of discharge is a constant which is greater than 1, so that it will not generate a laminar flow. Well, the well loss and the consequent drawdown is therefore equal to CQ. And to understand this formation, you need to understand the drawdown equation for the well, and that is S is equals to H minus small h. Okay, now here we know that S is equals to Q upon 2 pi kb log R upon R base E plus CQ raised to N. So where here this C is a constant which is known as the coefficient of well loss. Okay, Q is the discharge. Now this CQ raised to N is nothing but a well loss. But if we talk about the aquifer loss, then this 1 upon 2 pi kb into log R upon R will be the aquifer loss. How? Let's say S is equals to B into Q, as this drawdown is affected by the discharge. So we will consider 1 upon 2 pi kb into log R upon R as a constant value, and we denote it as a B. So that will be BQ plus CQ raised to N. So that would be the aquifer loss and the well loss. The addition of these two losses will be equal to the drawdown in the well. Okay. Now let's discuss about yield of well. The constant quantity of water that may be pumped per unit is known as the yield of the well. So when the pumping is started from a well, the water level in the well goes on receding. This is known as the drawdown, or we can say the depression head. So the safe depression head is known as the working head, and is the head when there is no possibility of any dislodging of soil particles in the well. Normally, it is taken as the 1/3 of the critical depression head, and the yield corresponding to this working head is known as the maximum safe yield. When the depression head is more than critical limit, dislodging of soil particles from the adjoining strata is noticed just because the high velocity of water that entering into the well, and the depression head, when such dislodging is noticed, that is known as the critical depression head. Now if we talk about the yield for the open well, and for that we prefer two different tests. Well, the first is the constant level pumping test and the recuperation test. First, let's discuss about the constant level pumping test. Well, from this test, the maximum safe yield can be determined. In this test, a constant discharge is pumped out from the test well. The inflow into the well will depend upon the drawdown. Well, initially the drawdown will be less and hence the inflow will be less. Now the drawdown will go on increasing with the inflow into the well. At a certain stage, the drawdown will reach the working head and the stage will be maintained steady by regulating the pump discharge. Now the constant discharge for the drawdown equal to the working head is the safe yield from the well, and normally it is expressed as the meter cube per hour. Now in the pumping test, water is pumped from the open well, and so that the water level in the well is depressed by the amount, let's say small h, as here shown in the figure. You can see here, this is the small h value. This is nothing but a depressed amount or the depressed height of water level. Now the rate of pumping is then adjusted that the water level in the well remain the constant. So at this condition, the rate of pumping will be equal to the rate of yield from the well. Now the amount of water that pumped out is measured with the V-notch or any other arrangement in a given amount of time for which the pump speed was regulated to a constant value. Now if we consider Q is the rate of yield at a depression head small h, and A is the area of flow section through which the water enters the well, then in such case, if we apply the Darcy's law, then Q is equals to KIA. Now we know that I is the hydraulic gradient whose value is H by L. So substitute the H by L value in the equation. So Q is equals to KAH upon L. Now if we take this L below the K as the denominator of K, Q is equals to K by L A into H. While this K by L is a constant value C, which is percolation intensity coefficient. H is nothing but a depression head, that is in meter. So from this equation it is very clear that the discharge increases with the depression head. However, the depression head cannot be increased beyond a certain critical value, because otherwise the velocity of water that percolating in the well will be excessive and the soil particles will be disturbed. Thus, from the constant level pumping test, the maximum safe yield can be determined. Now if we talk about the recuperation test, this is a figure of recuperation test. Okay, though the constant pumping gives an accurate value of safe yield, it is sometimes very difficult to regulate the pump in such a way that constant level can be maintained. Now in such circumstances, a recuperation test may be adopted. Well, here the water is pumped from the well so that sufficient depression head can be developed. Now the depression head is measured and the pumping is then get stopped. Now the water level in the well will go on rising as you stopped pumping. Okay, now the time taken for the water to recuperate the initial static level before the pumping was started or any other measured level, that time will be noted. So this is the procedure of recuperation test. Now here in the figure you can see the static level that is at AA state. So AA is nothing but the static water level in the well before pumping was started. Now after that we can see here the BB level, that is the water level in the well when pumping was stopped. Now this small h is the depression head when the pumping was stopped, and CC is the water level after the pumping is stopped, and this level is noted at T time. Okay, now H2, this small h2 is the depression head in the well at the time T after the pumping is stopped. Then H1 is the depression head in the well at times T after the pumping is stopped, and this DH is the decrease in the depression head in the time DT. So if this particular small strip will take and will integrate it, we will get the further values. So thus in the time T after pumping is stopped, the water level in the well that recuperated, that would be by H1 minus H, and it again recuperated by small dh in the time dt after this stage. So if we consider the volume of water entering the well when the head recuperated by dh, then that volume of water dv would be area into the dh value. Well, if Q is the rate of recharge into the well at time small t under a depression head small h, then the volume of the water would be dv is equals to q into dt, and we know that q is equals to kh. So if we apply this kh value as a q, we can compare this two equation 1 and 2. We'll get kh into dt is equals to minus a into dh. Now we'll join the h value at the h side. So k by a into dt is equals to minus 1 upon h into dh. Now if we will take the integration for both the side, the limit for dt would be 0 to t, and limit for the h, that would be h1 to h2. So the integration 0 to t k by a into dt, h1 to h2 minus 1 upon h into dh. So now after integration we'll get k by a into t 0 to t minus 1 upon h, the integration of 1 upon h, that is log h from h1 to h2. Now if we want to remove this minus sign, we need to swipe the limit. So log h h1 upon h2. Now if we substitute the limits, k by a into t is equals to log e h1 upon h2. So here we got the value of k by a is equals to 1 upon t log h1 by h2 into e. Now if we will convert this log e value with the base 10, then k by a is equals to 2.303 by t log 10 h1 by h2. Now at the end we need to find out the value of discharge, that is q. We know that q is equals to k into h, but we have the value of k by a. So if we will multiply this equation by a and we will divide it by a, the equation will remain same. So let's multiply and divide this equation with a Now here we are having the value of Q by A, and that is 2.303 by T log H1 by H2 base 10 and A into H. So this is the final discharge value we get from the recuperation test, and this discharge value is known as the average yield of the well. Okay, now let's see one example that is based on the recuperation test. A recuperation test was conducted on an open well of 5-meter dia, and the water level observed during the test, where the water table level is 250 meter, the water level when pumping was stopped is 243 meter, water level in the well after 2 hours of pumping, that was 245 meter. So with this data we have to find out the safe yield for the well if the working head is 3 meter. So here we will first of all list down the given data. Diameter is 5 meter, so we can get the area, that is pi by 4 d square, and the area is 19.63 meter square. We are given with the capital time T, that is 2 hours. The value of capital H is 3 meter. Now to find out the H1 value, the original groundwater table level, that was 250, and the level when the pumping was stopped, that is 243 meter. So H1 is equals to 250 minus 243, that is 7 meter, and after pumping was stopped the water level was 245 meter. So H2 would be 250 minus 245, that is 5 meter. So here we have all the values. Now we have to substitute this value in the formula of safe yield of the well, that is Q is equals to 2.303 by T log H1 by H2 base 10 A into H. We are having all these values. If we substitute the values in this formula, we will get the Q is equals to 9.89 meter cube per hour. So this was the safe yield of the well if the working head of the well is 3 meter. So this was for today's lecture. Thank you so much students for your kind attention. I hope you understand this topic thoroughly. I will see you in the next lecture.